Hey, afternoon to fingers. The fingers, you are the most traveled live stream guy in all of slot carness. You are everywhere, my friend. You're bowling? That's awesome. I haven't been bowling for a long time. My arthritis won't let me. Afternoon, Jim. Nice to see you here. We'll just wait for a bunch of people. If anybody shows up, we'll see who pops in today. This is nothing fancy or special. Just thought I'd show a few things what I'm doing and talk about whatever you fellas want to talk about. Yeah, it is a nice sunny day today here too, to fingers. I think it's supposed to be in the mid 80s today. We got June gloom early here. It's real foggy and gloomy in the morning and then in the 80s in the afternoon. So we usually don't get that until around June, but hey, I'll take it. Hey, what's up, Carrie? Nice to see you. 51 there right now? Yeah, it's not, what is it here right now? It is currently yeah, it's 81 right now here at the fingers. At exactly noon. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. But boy, I tell you, in the summertime when it's 110, it ain't so awesome. But that's why everybody comes out here, right? California, everybody comes for the weather. That's why my grandparents came here in 1952 from Chicago, of all places. So George is bowling. Roseland, is that close to Chicago to fingers? I actually had family all over Illinois, mostly in part of Chicago. Yeah, my uncle, they all grew up in Northbrook, and my mom was actually born down in Springfield. There's Harry. Afternoon, boss. Like I said, this is nothing fancy or special. I got a lot of junk going on here on the bench, and I thought maybe some of you guys might be interested in it. I posted some of it on my Facebook page, some of it on the Home Racing World Facebook page. I'm going to post some of it on the Home Racing World board today too. But I just thought I'd show you guys what I'm doing and talk about this hot rods to HRW a little bit and see if any of you guys are doing it or interested. You still got time. It's not till July, so. Wisconsin, that's right next door there, Carrie. Jim, which 132 or 125th scale tires for your 23 coupe for the hot rods deal? There's Slot Car Corner has the tires that Paul Gage has made. 124. Okay, yeah. You need to just go to Slot Car Corner. In the Paul Gage section, there is a Firestone tires. Might as well I got several sets here. Here's the Piecrest tires, PGT Firestone 58 small. If you can see that. That's what you want. And then there's also, those are the same ones. Okay, here's the big ones like I have on my car, PGT Firestone KK rear. That KK is because this is actually, these tires are actually ones that I had Paul Gage mold for me about 8 years ago, 8 years ago. I had him make these tires. I sent him a couple tires off of a model kit that I wanted, and he made them specially for me. And the KK stands for Curtis Craft because I had him make these tires for me for 125th scale Indy Roadsters. That's kind of cool that he's still making those tires. Yeah, the white walls. You know, it's funny you say that, the fingers. I was going to show you guys how I do white walls. So I'll do that today. In fact, we're talking about it right now. So why don't I just show you? If you guys want to see how I create my own white walls. Let me get this out here. If I can find it. Is it going to make a liar out of me? Nope, there it is. All right. This is how I make my white walls. And y'all are going to laugh. But let me just show you here. All right, let me get this car out of the way and I'll peel the tire off. And let me show you something. I'm gonna make you stop looking at my beautiful face, and I'm gonna put you down here and show you what I'm doing here. So hang on. All right. I'm sure they sell these at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any craft store, or wherever you get school supplies. These little circle templates. As you can see, it's white all over the place, right? Okay, so here's what we do. Maybe I don't know if I can bring you guys closer or not. Let me try. Get some more light down here on the subject. Sorry, my lighting sucks. Hey, Clint. Nice to see you here. Okay. Here's our tire. We find the correct circle. There we go, right there. That's perfect. You apply a little bit of pressure. Can you guys see that what I'm doing here? Put it right down where you want it. And if you keep pressure on it, make a nice seal around the edge of your tire here. Now, you want to use enamel paint. So get you some testers, flat white enamel. And you hold this down right where you want it. And you load up a brush with white paint. And you nicely paint it. Now the enamel will flow out nice and smooth, so you won't be a bunch of brush strokes in your white wall. Also, enamel is oil-based, so it stays flexible. So it won't crack and peel off your tire. I mean, eventually it will. I'm not going to lie. But for a good while amount of time, it will have a nice white wall. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on this car when the time comes here. So, Suckcar Dude, how you doing, guys? So there you go. That's how you make white walls. I'm glad that you brought that up, the fingers. I was going to show that today, and you must have been reading my mind. But yeah, these things are a couple bucks, and that's what you do. So hope that helps. Might as well show you the car now. I think some of you guys saw it on my page. This is where I'm at with it. I still got a long way to go, but it's getting there. That's my chassis. Yeah, Clint, the enamel. I mean, you can use whichever white paint you want, but the stuff that we use all the time are acrylics. It's water-based, so it will dry. It dries really hard, and it will crack like first time you run it and probably peel off. So yeah, you're better off using enamel. Takes a while for it to dry, but it's worth it. Worth it in the end. So I will be doing that on this car. But yeah, this is my car going to HRW. I'm still a long ways. I got the guide mount yesterday, my wheels, As you can see, my car is going to be independent front suspension because, like a dummy, I wanted to make the front end look more like a real Ford. So I did that. The chassis, it's all painted, rusted out. Eventually, these wheels are going to be all rusty. Got hubcaps for them. These are going to be kind of cool. The original old Ford hubcaps are going to go in there. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Got my engine mounts in. So she's ready to rock. So once we get that done, then I got to start putting headers together, my least favorite part. Thanks, boss. It's getting there. I even got crazy and I put Finn Buick brake drums. So it's going to look good, I think. I'm going to work on it more this afternoon. And since my boy's home from school today, he's sick. He's got his allergies are beating him up again. So I don't have to run off nowheres. But it's right in the fingers. Finned aluminum brake drums, man. It's the only way to go. Once upon a time, I used to build real hot rods. Let me see if I can find this picture. I'll show you guys real quick why I'm so passionate about this stuff. But I love it. And I've been working on cars and building cars since I was a little kid. My whole family was hot rods back in the 50s. It just carried over to me. So let's see here. I've got so many things in here. I take pictures of everything and I never get rid of nothing. You guys should do that too, man. Just take pictures. Your phone will hold it. Just keep taking pictures of everything. Eventually you want to go back and look at it or show it to somebody, and then you got it. Where the heck is that picture? I just looked at it yesterday. But yeah, this hot rod thing, I was really glad to see this Hot Rods to HRW race come up. This is something that we've all wanted to do for a while, and good idea, Harry. I think it's going to be a hit. And like I said, if you guys want to get in on it, go to the board and check it out, look at the rules, and get a car built. It's not that hard. If you don't want to build a brass chassis, buy an H&R chassis and just cut it up and modify it. Then you don't have to actually weld anything together. Solder anything together, I should say. Here you go, the fingers. Well, for crying out loud. My 37 Ford pickup. Man, that light's killing it. You can't really see the finned aluminum brake drums, but they're there. But that was my chopped, channeled, sectioned. Criminy, it had everything done to it. But it used to be a 37 Ford. Had a 283 Chevy in it. 4-speed. 3 2s. Yeah. Sold it to buy a house. I don't know if it was a good deal or not. I should have kept the truck, I think. But anyways, that's a little background on me. Now you know why I like this stuff so much. But because of my health conditions, I can't really work on real cars anymore. So these slot cars give me my creative outlet and let me build what I always want to build. That's where I am. Sorry, I missed all your guys' stuff. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. The dropped axle, had to be there, right? To make it look like a real hot rod. Are you building a car, Gladstone Gander? No, Clint, I don't. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I sold it to buy a house. That was, 15 years ago, I guess, probably now. But yeah, so this is where we're at with this. And like I said, it's not that hard. if you want to do it, go to Home Racing World, look at the rules, and put together a car. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? That one will get worked on today, later today. Maybe you guys want to see this one too. something else I'm working on, 132 scale car. This is a really crappy resin cast from a really destroyed mold. This car is so bent up. I'm just going to heat it up with a little hot water and straighten her out. But yeah, I'm going to do this 32 3-window coupe. I'm going to make it into a jalopy like my old ones. I've got the basic chassis done. This is what my upcoming video that I'm putting out is all about. That's why it's taking me so long. But there's the chassis for that. As you can see, the rear end, I didn't use the, like in this car, it's the HW1 bracket, which are fantastic. But for some of these cars, that bracket's too wide, at least for me. So I just make my own rear ends, old school style. The center section will be cut out when it's time. As you can see, I've already made the motor bracket. It's just a plate. And it'll get notched and it will go right where it's got to go perfectly in the chassis. And then it'll get some more bracing, just the way they used to do it before any of those brackets or whatnot came out. It's just how you did it. So it's good to know. It's kind of good to know these old ways as well. Yeah, the fingers, those resin bodies, heat is not their friend. And so like if you got one that's a little crooked or whatever, just warm it up with in a sink full of warm water, and you can move this resin around and then run it under cold water and it'll set it again. So like I said, this came out of a really bad mold that I've had for a long, long time, and the mold is just no good. This will probably be the last car I'll be able to get out of it, honestly. But yeah, so that's what you do if you got a bad one. Why you got to wait a year or so, Gladstone? Put it out there. Let's the more the merrier. There's no judging. There's no winner. Yet one of Shotgun Dave's useless information. That's what I call it. I have a head full of it. But yeah, these are the things that I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I like the new stuff too. And I was really excited to get that Shadow the other day. And I'm really excited to get the 2 McLarens from Thunder Slot. I ordered those the other day. I love them. I do. But this is my first love. My passion is these scratch-built jalopies and hot rods. And you know what? They're not the fastest cars on the track. There's no question about that. They sit too high, and they got big, tall, skinny tires on them and all that noise. But I'll tell you what, you get 4 guys out there racing these things around, and it is a hoot. You will throw rocks at anything else. It's fun as hell. Marty, welcome. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for taking time out of your day. I know you're probably at work. Let's see here. So yeah. Oh, sorry, Marty. Keep it down so your boss doesn't hear. We can do that. But what else you guys want to know? You got any questions for me? I'm just sitting here babbling about nothing. What do you guys want to know? And Marty's excited about the Thunderstomp McLarens. I know you haven't ordered yours yet, Marty, but you do have some already. So Anything you want to know about? Tools, equipment, parts, stuff? Do you hide the guide? Gladstone, no. This car will be the same as this big one here, but you can see the guide is not hidden. There really is no way to hide it. Not on this type of car, because there's no body. It will be right out there in the breeze. So I like to use the smaller guides. This is a slotting plus guide. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think it's a slotting plus guide. And it's black, so it kind of blends in. But you can see here, like when you put the grill on, the guide is right out there. But it's not too bad. It's a slot car, so not much you can do about it. You got to have a guide. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, glad I'm helping you, DeFingers. Always happy to help. We all learn. I learn stuff every day too. You really should. If you don't, you need to keep your mind open and learn stuff. Even things you might think you already know all about, you sure don't. There's always somebody that's got a little bit more information. But what do you guys need to? What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? Let me see here. Well, I had a gentleman on the board send me this the other day, and I think I saw the box. Yeah, this thing is. I have something similar to it that belonged to my grandfather, but it's a little bit bigger. It's called a detail hand vise. And that thing, look how small it is. It is so cool. You can put it just makes it so much easier for cutting on stuff. If you need to hold something, put it in the vise, and you don't have to worry about burning your fingers. You can chop away on it and don't have to worry about it. This thing is really neat, and it has a small little anvil on the back. It's pretty precision too. And then it has two ways of mounting it. You can put two screws on the side of your bench, so you could actually slide it on the screws, and then it's stationary. Or you cut a hole in your bench, and you slide it through the hole, and it necks down and it holds it there. So if you got like those shop dogs, I think they call them, on a wood bench, just knock that right in there, and it's stationary. So I'm not sure where he got it. I think Amazon. But yeah, so I'll show you that again. Detail hand vise. If anybody's looking for something like this, it's a time saver. It really does. It really does help. I use it. I've been using it every day since he gave it to me. So I just thought I'd show you that. At Gladstone, if you get the guide behind the axle, it usually doesn't drive very well. Uh-oh, Marty's boss is on. Better get back to work, Marty. Hey, aren't you supposed to be bowling? How you doing on your game over there, George? Clint, I build primarily 132 scale cars. I just like them better. I don't know why. I just do. I get a lot of enjoyment out of creating things from nothing. How's that? Does that sound right? Like that. It's like or here we go. Here's one. You guys have all seen this car before. The 37 Ford slantback sedan. That car don't exist anywhere but right here in my hand. And I enjoy that. Anybody can build a 29 Ford Roadster in 25th scale. You just go buy a model kit, which is great. I'm not dissing that at all, because we've had a hell of a lot of fun with those cars. But for me, my part of the hobby for me is creating all of this stuff. And, you know, you guys, I don't know if you've seen any of it at all. I mean, engines, wheel inserts, you know, all this stuff. I just get a kick out of making it myself. So it's more fun for me for 132 scale. Slot car dude, what type of tires do I use? Rubber, polyurethane, foam? Pretty much exclusively urethane tires. And for the most part, if Paul Gage has a tire that I can use for my builds, I buy Paul Gage tires. They're just good. They just work. They're cheap. They work. You throw them on your tire chewer, you chew them up, and away you go. You go racing. If they're not, if for like, you know, because I build these weird hot rods, there's not really any tires out there that are for that. So I have to be creative and make them. And that's what I do. I have bags of model car tires and stuff down here. And then I make my molds and I make my own urethane tires. Yeah, I bet they did the fingers. I have a few. I have a few machinist type tools too. I use this, you know, it's for holding round stock. So you put it in, screw it down. If you need to drill a hole or whatever in round stock, this is the ticket right here. It's you almost got to have it if you're going to drill a hole in round stock. So I keep that handy for stuff like that. I also have this. I used to work in the aircraft industry. If anybody else is in the aircraft industry, you know what this is. It's a rivet buck. And I use this for, you know, beating on stuff. Works perfectly. I can also use it as kind of a brake if I need to bend a piece of flat stock. It works fantastic. Lay it over here and tap it with a hammer. Grandson of man, welcome. I'm going to show you guys this. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore. My good friend Harry hooked me up because I used to have one of these and I sold it off years ago, and I wish I hadn't. Speaking of jigs, this is one of the old Razor John chassis jigs, and I love this. I like it better than the plate, but you know, everybody's different. I just like this because I can precisely set the wheelbase. You put your axles in between, you can precisely set the wheelbase, and it's got a bunch of holes drilled in it and tapped, so I can use little plates to screw everything down to the jig and then solder it up. It's just my way of doing it. It's the way I learned how to do it a long time ago, so this is why I wanted this jig back. And again, I appreciate Harry for sending me that. Hey, no worries, Raul. You're not late. Yeah, Harry, with the rubber tires. You know, some of these ready to run cars, the ones that are coming out lately, boy, Slottits and the Thunder Slots, they all have pretty damn decent rubber tires on them. So I just leave them on there, true them up if they need it, and soften them up a little bit with some of what does George call it? The secret alien tire jizz, and go with them. Like I have a few of the Pioneer Legend cars, and those stock tires work pretty good on those too. Although I have to admit to making a copy of one of those tires and making my own mold, and I can make urethane ones if I want to, but I really haven't needed to. So right, Harry, these new rubber tires are quite a bit different than the ones from a few years back, where you couldn't wait to peel them off and throw them away so you could put Paul Gage on there, but not anymore. Superthane. Did I ever build Womps? Nope. Never cared for the commercial end of slot car racing. You know, I was a kid when it was in its heyday in the 60s. I was more intrigued with my next door neighbor's Revell slot car track and all those Corvettes and Cobras that they were racing on there. And that's what got me hooked on this, believe it or not. I was about 7, 8 years old probably. And yeah, the commercial stuff doesn't interest me. I don't like it because number one, they don't look like real cars. I am a scale guy. I like stuff that looks real. And I dabbled in RC airplanes for a while. And I was the same way. That's why I gave it up, the RC planes, because it's very expensive to build an airplane that makes it look like a real one. And I don't like any of that foam stuff and all that. No interest in it. So yeah, I never did get into Womps, the fingers. Carrie, no, I didn't. My legend cars are just stone stock. I adjust make them run, tune them a little bit, but otherwise, no, there's nothing done to them whatsoever. And I buy these kits. In fact, I have one sitting here on the bench right now, another one. I buy the kits so I can paint them myself. In fact, this is a kind of a commissioned job for someone in my family who used to race the real things. Let me show you here. He used to race the real thing. This was his car. And so he has asked me to build him one and paint it just like his. So I'm actually going to have to talk to Raul about making me some decals for this car here pretty soon and get that painted for him. There's a even number, a better one there. Pretty cool car. I like the paint scheme he had on there. So I'll be doing that for him. What was the car called? The Little Booger? I think it was the Little Booger. But yeah. So yeah, I like these. The Legends cars are cool. Actually, the Legend cars are not 132 from what I understand. I think they're 128 or something like that. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Yep, the fingers, same thing for me. Foam tires. I had no desire to run those whatsoever. And that's it. 60s. Who's bumping me here? Nobody important. Yeah, foam tires. I know people take them and coat them in silicone. See, I'm not a fan of silicone tires either. I've tried them. Back when I had 3 different wood tracks, and the silicones just never worked well for me on my wood track. So I didn't run them. I did give them a try, but I just don't like them. I know there are people who swear by them, and I'm glad they work for them, but I prefer urethane. Right, Harry. I knew that too. I wasn't sure what the actual scale is. I don't know. I think I heard somebody say 128. I guess I could measure one and find out, but yeah, right. Pioneer cars are all 132 other than the Legends. They don't make any 125th or 124th scale cars. Nothing wrong with that, Gladstone. 125th scale is fun. And you actually have it easier because there are so many, there's model kits, there's chassis. You could put together a car, boom, and you got a cool car to go racing with. And, you have your choice of tires and everything else with them. Foam, urethanes, silicones, they have everything for those too. And yeah, you can have a hell of a good time. We've had plenty of good times down at Home Racing World headquarters there at Harry's racing 125th scale cars. Let me tell you, they are a hoot on the oval for sure. Agree, Gladstone. Oh, grandson of man, you just found out about the real Legends cars. Yeah, they're fun. My daughter is super into them. She goes down here to the local track, Paris Auto Speedway, and watches them all the time. She loves those things. It's kind of why I got into them, because she liked them so much. Does Polycar use silicone tires? Is that what you're asking, the fingers? I'm not sure. I actually do not have a Polycar. Yeah, they're a hoot, grandson of man. I think they're cool. They got some, I forget who makes it, the engine in a motorcycle engine, high revving suckers. Clint, kind of. I have 5 enormous boxes full of Revell track, the old Revell 125th scale track. Like I said, I got started with that when I was a kid, watching my neighbors race, and I've always wanted it. And I started collecting it quite a few years ago, and never really had enough to make much of a track. And then, of course, I built my wood tracks. But right now, we currently live in an apartment, so having a permanent track is not in the cards as of yet. We are house hunting right now. Hard to find a house in California under $500,000. Yikes! So eventually it will happen again. And yes, I will have wood track. I will have 2 wood tracks probably, but I'm also going to have my Revell track. I got to have it. I like the Revell track. It's actually right at the same size as Carrera. It might even be a little bigger if I'm not mistaken. It is a pain to put together and take apart, though. And I have a bunch of both. There's only 2 size turns, basically the equivalent of R1 and R2 in Carrera. And I have a bunch of both. The R2, the bigger, wider turns, are really hard to come by. And I've been rat holing them away. I've got a lot of it. So, and I have borders for the whole thing. Clint, I think the slot is the same. A commercial guide works on Revell track. That would be cool, Gladstone. Where are you at? You out of here, Harry? We'll talk to you later. Gladstone, are you in the SoCal area too? Well, I'm glad you learned a lot today, the fingers. Glad I could help. Oh, right. Oh, Porter Ranch. Okay. You're in Sacramento, Gladstone. Okay. So we're all, opposite ends, but not that bad. Well, I just want to do a quickie just to talk to you guys for a bit. I'm glad you all showed up. I appreciate it. Thanks, Raul. Got lots of stuff in the pipe here. As you know, got some stuff that we're going to do for you. I'm kind of excited to do that. I can't wait to see those things turned into slot cars. I won't say much because I don't know if you're divulging that to the public yet, but yeah, got a lot of things happening. I'm excited to do it. So anyways, fellers, I'm going to go make my sick boy some lunch. And you're welcome, Clint. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending your time here. So anyhow, boys, I'll let you go, and we will see you all online. We'll see you on the boards. We'll see you on Facebook. We'll see you all over the place. Thanks, team. Yeah, wrapping her up. So thanks for coming. Thanks for spending time with me. I appreciate it. And just wanted to say, from the bottom of my heart, thanks to all you guys who support everybody, not just me and all the other guys, especially, Raul and George and Marty, Massimo. Those guys are all fantastic. I'm just a tagger along. So thank you guys. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate everything you guys do. So you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you all later.